happening now? An update on a massive fentanyl bust here in Jamestown.
An amount of fentanyl that could possibly kill every man, woman, and child in the city of Jamestown.
The warning from local leaders about its significance. And we're breaking down the city's municipal budget for next year after all vetoes of Mayor Eddie Sundquist were overridden. Plus, a look at efforts pairing history and the holidays.
This is what Santa Claus would look like in Germany.
We go behind the scenes of a new exhibit at the Fenton History Center.
Live and on demand, this is WNY News Now.
And thank you for joining us for WNY News Now. I'm Justin Gould. Those stories and more are coming up, but first, a former law enforcement officer turned city councilman here in Jamestown is highlighting the importance of getting deadly narcotics off the streets, citing a record bust by local investigators last week. In a continued drug crackdown effort, investigators with Jamestown's Metro Drug Task Force and other partner agencies performed 3 simultaneous drug raids that led to the arrest of 19 suspects last Wednesday. However, a simple traffic stop just before the search warrants were executed is credited with saving thousands of lives locally. After stopping a vehicle on North Main Street in Jamestown, officers recovered a record amount of fentanyl pills. It's estimated around 50,000 to 60,000 were recovered. According to Councilman and former Jamestown, pills' potency could have been enough to kill every man, woman, and child in Jamestown alone.
We're starting to see quantities of like this that are coming into our city. Obviously, these are large, scary amounts. You're talking about enough fentanyl that if it's potent enough that could potentially kill every single citizen in the city of Jamestown with that 50 to 60,000 pills. So that's some scary stuff that's coming into our city, and I can't thank the Jamestown Police Department, the town of Ellicott, and the Sheriff's Department enough for the excellent work that they are doing and they continue to do on a daily basis.
Now, recently, county health officials have launched a campaign to warn the public about drugs mixed with the deadly narcotic fentanyl. There are a number of local resources like the Department of Mental Hygiene available to help those access recovery services. However, Narcan nasal spray officials say is a vital tool for not just addicts but anybody as this deadly drug becomes more prevalent in our community. And 3 Jamestown residents face a slew of charges after they were allegedly busted with a stolen vehicle on the city's south side. The driver, 29-year-old Daniel McKay, and passengers 23-year-old Camille Lopez and 38-year-old Bart Barlett were taken into custody following a traffic stop near Jefferson Middle School. Police said the vehicle McKay was driving was reported stolen from SUNY JCC's parking lot back in October. As a result, McKay was charged with criminal possession of stolen property. McKay also found himself facing charges of criminal possession of a controlled substance after police allegedly discovered drugs in his possession. Lopez allegedly provided a false name to officers and was also charged in the vehicle theft. The Jamestown City Council voted to override all of Mayor Eddie Sundquist's 2023 municipal budget vetoes, returning the spending plan to its original form passed during the November 28th voting session, with no tax increase for those at home. Our Bronson Rasmussen joins us live today in the newsroom with more on the budget rulings and what this all means for Jamestown's financial future. Bronson?
While the council overturned all of the mayor's vetoes, he was most concerned about the repeal of the $75,000 increase to sales tax revenue. Council had voted to overturn the veto 8-1, with Councilman William Reynolds the only one to vote against it.
Councilmember Sheldon?
Aye.
Brackman?
Aye.
Karuba?
Aye.
Reynolds?
Nay.
Faulkner?
Aye.
Eklund?
Aye.
DeVersa?
Aye.
Russell?
Aye.
President Knowles?
I think one of the biggest things for us was really going to be the sales tax override, because I do not think it is realistic, and I think it sets the city up for failure for that high of a sales tax amount. Given the fact that we've only budgeted about 2 to 3%, and this amount incorporates 6, almost 7% to last year, it's a little high for my tastes. And in fact, the county only budgeted about 5%. So.
While Finance Chair and City Councilwoman at Large Kim Eklund understands the sales tax risk for the 2023 fiscal year, but with extra funds found after the budget, she believes that everything will cancel out.
As I've clearly stated all along, there's been no doubt that there have been a lot of errors that were found in this budget. And it was clearly a unanimous decision by this council to pass this budget, including these cuts, because of the inadequacies missing in the budget to make up and make sure that every department felt a little bit of a pinch, whether it was not adding things that they wanted or keeping things stagnant.
In the end, Mayor Sundquist says that the actions taken by the council are within their right.
The interesting part of this is that this is democracy, right? So if there is an override of any type of vetoes, that's council's prerogative, right?
Council had also and 6-3 against 5,600. News Now.
All right, Brunson, thank you very much. A little audio issue with him at the end. If you're looking for the full number breakdown that have been approved, check out Brunson's web story. It's going to be posted in just the next hour here on WNYNewsNow.com. Well, we have something foodies will definitely want to sink their teeth into. A restaurant here in Jamestown is spending time in the national spotlight this evening. It's called Four Below, Haggie's Bar and Grill on East 2nd Street here in downtown. The restaurant is owned by Eric Haglund and will be featured on America's Best Restaurants. Haglund says an assistant producer with the show found him while they were setting up to film for a chicken wing festival in Buffalo. He says they wanted to showcase restaurants outside of Wingfest and saw what was going on social media. That's when he got the call. The episode will feature his crack wings, which, get this, came to Eric in a dream. The best things do. They feature naan bread tacos, pretzel chips, and a canned bacon bourbon burger. Haglund says he hopes this experience will help show the world what Jamestown has to offer.
The TV show that is showcasing, they're going all over the country showcasing great restaurants in areas that you might not know that have really good food. I've got a lot of friends in the industry, people that live in Jamestown and have restaurants in Jamestown. We're all friends. We all get along great. And I'm just happy that, my little spotlight could hopefully bring a lot to the Jamestown area.
Yeah, it's super exciting. Congrats to Eric and his team. You can see them featured on America's Best Restaurants on their YouTube channel, website, and Facebook page tonight at 6 o'clock. Well, now let's switch gears and get a first check of our weather forecast. Andrew Stevenson standing in today for us. And Andrew, it's a beautiful day out there, sunshine-wise. However, if you step out in one of the many places like Randolph, you're definitely still going to need that jacket.
Yeah, it's a chilly one out there today, and it's going to be a chilly one tomorrow too. But yesterday we had all kinds of clouds around the region. Today the sun has returned. We have mostly sunny skies out there from the Randolph Peaches and Cream Sky camera, and we'll have mostly sunny skies last at least through tomorrow, and then we get into winter returns. I'll tell you about that coming up. Yesterday the high was 29 degrees, the low was 23. The record high for yesterday was 62 degrees. That was set back in 1901, and the record low was negative 21 set back in 1988. I'd show you first defense Doppler radar, but nothing's happening out there. Just sunshine today. So hopefully that sunshine, well, you can get outside and enjoy it today. Get outside and do some Christmas shopping because the sun is back in full force. Partly mostly sunny skies. Temperatures up in the upper 20s to lower 30s across the region with a northeast wind of 3 to 5 miles per hour. So beautiful day out there. Another nice day tomorrow, but alas, we will get into old man winter, and I'll have those details coming up in just a few minutes, Justin.
All right, Andrew, thank you very much. We'll see you back in just a bit as we continue a look at the new electric vehicle charging stations now in operation here in Jamestown. And later, the push to make investments for the Empire State's working class. Our state capital correspondent explains this story when we come back. Wishing you a safe and happy holiday season. WNY News Now.
The Jolly Team, where coverage comes first.
Looking for a fair and honest auto mechanic? Look no further than DeWias Auto Service. Located at 140 Main Street in Randolph, our family-owned business is ready for all of your automotive needs. From general service to more complex repairs, count on DeWias Auto to keep you on the road. We not only keep your cars running smoothly, but also looking great with our expert detailing crew. Send us a message on Facebook or call us today at 716-358-2292 to set up an appointment. DeWias Auto Service. Fair, honest, and the best prices guaranteed.
EagleZip.com is your local one-stop shop for all of your home and business computer needs. Located on Fluvanna Avenue Extension, just outside of Jamestown, EagleZip.com sells and services all brands of desktops and laptops, as well as servers and network equipment for your business. All new computer sales include transferring your data from your old computer plus a 2-year warranty. Call EagleZip.com today.
Stop by EagleZip.com today and let us make computers easy for you.
I'm a survivor. I'm a survivor. I'm a survivor.
Testicular cancer is the leading form of cancer in men aged 15 to 35.
1 in 250 men will be diagnosed with testicular cancer.
But 98% will survive if detected early.
As a survivor, I believe early detection is the key. Learn how to do a testicular self-exam and other important facts about testicular cancer at oneball4tc.com.
You're watching WNY. We're covering.
And welcome back. A hate and bias prevention unit, part of New York State's Department of Human Rights, officially launched on Monday. As WNY's Sam Shapiro reports, this new unit aims to combat anti-Semitism and other forms of hate through education.
This new unit aims to halt hate before it's too late. Serving as an early detection system in local communities, the unit will be charged with leading public education and outreach efforts. The unit will also be charged with supporting areas and communities where biases are prevalent.
This is going to be part of a statewide initiative going to all 62 counties to educate and also be an early warning system. Let people know when you spot this, you see something your child is doing on social media and it concerns you. We can be in the prevention business as well.
Rabbi Dr. Oren Steinitz from Congregation Kol Ami has felt and experienced hate in addition to anti-Semitism since moving to Elmira roughly 8 years ago from Canada. He says people should be proud of their history, but not at the expense of other people's heritage. He feels the prevention unit is a step in the right direction towards helping educate people.
The only question is how we can prevent it, how can we educate people and make them realize how bigoted they sound when they speak in the way they do. Because it's right here in your own neighborhoods, in your children's schools, at Wegmans, at Tops, at Wise, wherever you go grocery shopping. The second you become a visible minority in one way or another, you will feel it.
And as part of the new unit's mandate, the division is organizing 10 regional councils across the state made up of local stakeholders. And these councils will provide a place for community members to share concerns and organize educational programming.
Sam, thank you. Governor Kathy Hochul announcing Monday that a dozen of new electric vehicle charging stations have now been set up from the southern tier to here in western New York. According to the governor's office, the new chargers will help ensure that electric vehicle drivers in the Empire State don't have to worry about running out of a charge. Among the new high-speed charging stations include 4 sites in Jamestown, 2 at 2nd and North Main Streets, and another 2 at East 4th Street and Prendergast Avenue. The governor's office says the new chargers can charge batteries in most of the high-capacity models of EVs in as little as about 20 minutes. Well, in just a few weeks, lawmakers here in New York will start to tackle the 2023 state budget, and some advocates are calling on lawmakers to invest in working-class New York communities. Today, our New York Capitol correspondent Elise Klein spoke to advocates about what they hope to see from lawmakers in Albany.
As legislative session approaches, advocates are urging lawmakers to prioritize programs that would help working-class New Yorkers. They're asking for funding for programs including public education and childcare. They're also asking to drive down the cost of rent and utilities and to expand access to public benefits. Genevieve Rand from the Working Families Party says she continues to struggle with finding affordable housing and health care.
I am a working class person who needs our state's systems to work better.
Rand adds that she is not alone.
And I know so many people and families around me who need the same and are struggling right now more than ever to make ends meet.
Some lawmakers say the legislature will be making working class New Yorkers a priority.
I think that there is an absolute across the board interest in creating a budget that works for the working class, that stabilizes the working class.
She adds that it will be important for the legislature to look at both expenditures and income. Kellis says for this year's budget, there will be conversations about driving down the costs of rent and utilities, building new housing, reevaluating municipal housing, and even increasing the minimum wage. In Albany, Elise Klein, WNY News Now.
Elise, thank you. Now, Monday in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, House Republicans there swore in their leader, Brian Cutter, for the 2023-24 legislative session. Doing so give the Republicans the ability to call him House Majority Leader. Now, Democrats made some moves last Wednesday by swearing in their leader, Joanna McClinton, and announcing she's the House Majority Leader too. The battle over that majority has been going on for weeks after Democrats secured 102 seats in the November 8th election. However, Democrat vacant seats have complicated the balance of power, and they're now the basis for a new lawsuit over who can order a special election to fill them. Last week, McClinton issued the writs of an election for the 3 seats, but today, Brian Cutter said she did not have the authority to put that order in place because there was no majority at the time.
The majority leader can issue writs of election, and a 101-101 tie is not a majority, and that's what Democratic leader tried to assert. If there's a vacancy, that person doesn't get to vote, and it doesn't count towards the majority.
Now, a spokesperson for McClinton says there is only one reason for Cutter's swearing in the lawsuit filed on Friday, and that it's to delay and deny nearly 2,000 Pennsylvanians their basic right to representation. Of course, we'll continue to follow this as things continue to heat up. Coming up, our Washington, D.C. correspondent explaining a new scramble now underway in our nation's capital to pass a budget before the end of the year. And later, a look at the holiday-themed exhibit, bringing history and Christmas together here in Jamestown. But first, when we return, Andrew joins us with a full look at our weather forecast and how a picture like this over Randolph in Cattaraugus County could soon be changing as a winter wonderland might be on its way. Stay with us.
With coverage that matters, this is WNY News Now.
Slow down.
Slow down and move over.
Move over.
When you see signs,
Lights.
Vests.
please give us some room.
Slow down.
Slow down and move over.
When you need help,
It's our job
to help you,
to save you.
despite the danger.
This danger is real. Do your part.
Please
Slow down. Slow down. And move over.
move over.
WNY News Now is covering stories that matter to you.
There are 2 silver linings here. One, that no injuries were reported, and 2, they were able to contain the fire from spreading further.
Western New York has a new congressional member representing them.
One of the things that made Betty White so unique was the fact that she connected generations of fans throughout the decades. Take a look at the display here.
WNY News Now, where coverage comes first.
I don't think that many kids in my son's school even do it.
He makes fun of his friend who vapes.
He would never try it.
She's into soccer.
She's on the honor roll.
She's just not the type.
No way.
No way.
No way.
No way. My kid would never vape.
Get your head out of the cloud. Today, nearly 8,000 kids will start vaping. Maybe even yours. Learn about the dangers at talkaboutvaping.org.
Fast, accurate, and every day. First Defense Weather.
Welcome back to WNY News Now at noon. Let's start off with a live look from downtown Jamestown. We have mostly sunny skies. The temperature is 30 degrees as of the noon hour at Jamestown Airport with a northeast wind of 5 miles per hour. Let's get into the weather headlines. This is what you need to know. The weather will remain quiet today and tomorrow as high pressure moves across the region, but a low pressure system will bring in a little mixture of everything as we head into Thursday and Friday, and the weather is going to turn active. Thursday, still a bit of a question. We could see some freezing rain, we could see some sleet, we could even see some snow. It all depends on how cold it gets and the direction of where the system goes, and it's possible if we get enough freezing rain and sleet, which would be mainly across the interior sections of the southern tier, we may see a 10 to 2/10 of an inch of ice possible, and that may seem like a lot, but it doesn't take much of any ice to make it slippery out there, so we will keep an eye on that. And as that system moves off to the northeast and off to the east coast as we head into the weekend, lake effect snow is going to set up as we head into the weekend, and we could see some significant lake effect snow accumulations out of that, but it will depend on where those snow bands do set up, and we will have details coming up over the next few days. So let's time out future look over the next 48 hours. The rest of the afternoon out there, partly to mostly sunny skies through the afternoon, partly to mainly clear skies as we head into the night, and as we head into tomorrow, should start the day off with partly cloudy skies, but those clouds will be on the increase as we head into the afternoon. Now, Future Scan is trying to show a few showers by tomorrow afternoon. I don't think the showers or any of the precipitation will arrive until late Wednesday night. And as you see, as we head into Thursday, that precipitation will start coming from the south and move to the north. So we will see if we will get any ice out of it. Hopefully it just stays rain and snow because no one likes the ice. So for the rest of the day, partly to mostly sunny skies. The sun is back. Temperatures in upper 20s at the hilltops to lower 30s at the lower elevations with a northeast wind of 3 to 5 miles per hour. For the night, partly cloudy to mainly clear skies. It will be chilly, especially in the inland valleys with lows in the mid-teens to lower to mid-20s at the lakeshore with a light northeast wind. And now the next 7 days brought to you by Ultimate Satellite Solutions. We will watch again Wednesday, sleet, snow possible. Should turn over to mainly wet snow as we head into the evening and overnight and get some wet snow accumulation out of that. A few rain and snow showers will remain on Friday with temperatures in the mid-30s Thursday and Friday. But again, we're keeping an eye out for lake effect snow Saturday, Sunday that could dump some snow possibly across the region. Where those bands do end up setting up will be determined over the next few days, Justin.
Yeah, certainly we're going to continue to watch this closely. Andrew, thank you very much. Here's some headlines from around the nation. And the man at the center of the collapse of a cryptocurrency exchange, FTX, has been arrested. The Attorney General of the Bahamas says the former CEO, Sam Brinkman-Fried, is in custody at the request of the United States based on a sealed indictment. Officials say he was arrested without incident at his apartment complex. The Southern District of New York had been investigating Brinkman-Fried since FTX's collapse last month. It was one of the biggest crypto exchanges in the world until the company couldn't cover the sudden wave of customer withdrawals. FTX and its sister hedge fund have now filed for bankruptcy. Well, as the year is coming to an end, Congress is facing an important funding deadline. Our Washington, D.C. correspondent Rachel Knapp explains.
The clock is ticking to fund the government. Congress only has a few more days before the government could shut down just right before the holidays. Now that deadline is this Friday at midnight. This includes money for programs at the federal level like air traffic control, national parks, environmental programs, and even medical research, just to name a few. Congressional members are struggling to reach a deal on a massive government funding package. Some are cautioning that they might need to pass another short-term measure to avert a shutdown at the end of the week, essentially kicking the can down the road, which would force the next session to deal with it. The Senate Appropriations Chair Patrick Leahy warned on Thursday that passing another short-term bill will keep the government funding at last year's levels with no adjustments for inflation, adding there will be real-life consequences if they can't move forward with a massive package. According to some think tanks, passing another short-term measure means federal agencies cannot implement new policies or programs until Congress enacts the regular appropriations bill. Now, the House has moved forward with a mega defense spending bill, which the Senate is slated to take up later this week, but that, of course, is just one of the couple of major appropriations bills that Congress needs to focus on. At the Capitol, Rachel Knapp reporting.
Rachel, thank you very much for the update. Well, a nuclear fusion has been called the holy grail of clean energy, and now scientists, they've been pursuing it for decades, trying to replace the fusion that powers the sun, and they've made a big breakthrough. The U.S. Department of Energy is reportedly set to announce scientists have produced the first ever nuclear fusion reaction, resulting in a net energy gain. That means the reaction creates more energy than it uses to make it. The implication is a potentially infinite source of clean energy that could help stop the dependence on fossil fuels. The Financial Times reporting the Energy Department is expected to make an official announcement today. Well, coming up next, what happens when Christmas and history collides? Our Julia Grez taking a look at a longtime exhibit at the Fentanyl History Center after this short break.
WNY News Now is covering stories that matter to you.
Police and other local law enforcement agencies are looking for the person responsible for a shooting.
One of the benefits of this new feature is it not only works with the newer parking meters that the city's been rolling out, but these traditional meters as well.
From muddy trails to slick cliff edges to structures that have fallen into disrepair, these are just some of the problems that this park faces.
WNY News Now, where coverage comes first. Wishing you a safe and happy holiday season. WNY News Now, the Jolly Team, where coverage comes first.
An exhibit at the Fentanyl History Center in Jamestown is pairing history and the holidays together as local historians explore Christmas traditions from around the world. Julia Gress takes us on a behind-the-scenes look.
We have our German Weihnachtsmann. We have a few displays around that are Christmas around the world. We have the Swedish room, some of their customs. We have some things in the dining room, various customs. Of course, we have our drawing room is decorated. We have our upside-down Christmas tree, which is a favorite of everybody.
This year, the Fentanyl History Center is featuring Christmas cultures from around the world by hosting Italian and German displays, which is one of the first depictions of a Santa Claus figure from the early 1800s.
This is what Santa Claus would look like in Germany. He was called the Weihnachtsmann. And Germany also was the country where they first started having Christmas trees. Of course, it was Queen Victoria in England that popularized it. But the idea of bringing a tree inside the home originated in Germany, and St. Nicholas was the one who would bring the tree.
Before gift-giving became a popularized tradition, Executive Director Jane Babinski explains that the holiday was more about decorating with homemade items such as cookies, corn husk dolls, and pieces of rags.
I would like to invite everybody to our Christmas open house on Saturday, December 17th. We will be open from 10 to 4, but from 2 to 4, we will have Santa Claus and one of his elves here handing out goodies, and we will also have a pianist here leading us in an old-fashioned sing-along.
Admission for the Christmas open house is $10 for adults and free for members and those under 18. Julia Gress, WNY News Now.
Julia, thank you very much. Such a cool display. And in the last few moments here of the broadcast, I want to give Andrew Stevenson a big congratulations. If you follow us on social media, our website, our app yesterday, you would have saw the official announcement that Andrew will be taking over as our chief weather forecaster over the next 30 days as we transition. Dakota's got a new opportunity in our region, so we wish Dakota well, but it's great to have you, Andrew. And really, it's already such a nice, I think, implementation to have you in the weather office. You're here with us on the weekends, on Fridays, and I'm excited to work with you on this because it's such an important role of updating people about the weather out in our community.
I have to give Dakota a lot of credit. Everything you see on the graphics, he built pretty much from scratch, and I've been learning over these past few years. It's going to take some time to get used to, but I feel eventually I'll get into a good groove and should work out, and we wish Dakota all the best with his new endeavors in Erie.
Absolutely, we definitely do, and he'll be back tomorrow, actually. He'll be anchoring Wednesday through Friday for the next month, and then we'll transition to having Andrew with us every day. Well, that is it for us today. Of course, news continues 24/7. We'll leave you with this live look over Chautauqua Lake. Have a great day. We'll see you back here tomorrow